there be all the attractions on the island. This is Saranda, on the southern coast of Albania, just across the bay from Corfu, Greece. So you're looking back out towards the main city area there. There's the boat port straight across behind the boat that's in the water. And we're going to head down to the promenade today, which is a real nice seaside promenade that goes a pretty long way. Kind of looking out across it there. Still probably got about another mile to walk down or so. So a very pretty setting right here with the hills kind of coming down to the sea. And a lot of new construction going on post-pandemic. They are building, and they're building quick. But it's the same coast as Corfu's on, just at about half the price. So we'll go explore the promenade and check out Saranda in Albania. Good afternoon. We are down on the beachside promenade here in Saranda. I just stopped and got a water. Didn't read the other side. Sparkling. It's pretty tasty, but not really what I wanted. Could have used a flat water. So I thought maybe we take a little walk down the serpentine wall here. The beach here is very rocky, almost shell-like out here. So everything I'd read said the beaches of Saranda were better than Doris. But I remember Doris being a lot more sandy than here in Saranda. Everything's very shelly, very rocky. But the boardwalk itself is actually really well done, well designed, with all the restaurants and shops that go right alongside it. Just about every building offers you a chance at some food or a coffee, coke, or a cocktail. A couple places I've not ate anything down here. 2 days ago, my very first day here in Saranda, I stopped down here and had a couple of pint skis, trying the different beers. The first one was out. There's a bar that's actually on the water down there, so I had an L bar. It turned out to be a sour beer, Weiss beer, which are not my favorites. And then came up a little bit further and found a little pizzeria. I had a couple of beers there. That was the Peja, P-E-J-A. Those actually were pretty good. They were on draft, and they were only 350 lek. Right now the exchange rate is $1 is about 115 lek. So just make everything in US prices and subtract 15% from it. It's a little bit better deal than what I had last year, about 15% better. I guess it's a lot better deal, because the lek and dollar were about 100 to 1. Now it's up to, like I said, 115. It's really pretty hotels and condos, kind of overlooking out towards the sea here. This is the Ionian Sea, not the Adriatic. I did read that Ksamil, K-S-A-M-I-L, is about a 10-minute drive to the south of here, and they said they have terrific beaches. So I was going to catch a bus down there this morning, and I was told it was 100 lek to take a bus ride. So I was at the bus stop. The bus pulled up and only opened the back door, so I was trying to get on the front so I could pay the driver, and the back door opened. A few people got off, and it was jam-packed. I don't really know, barely would have been any room for anybody on there. But they never did open the front door, so it just drove off without me. And then so I just walked into the city and realized that when I got down here, they only opened the back door. I watched some other people get on, and it doesn't look like anybody takes any money. And I was told that you buy the ticket from the driver on the bus, so maybe I'll figure out how that works before long. See those little cigar type boats way back in the distance. Those are the ones that shuttle you from Greece to here. 20 euros was the charge, so about $20, $21. And it takes just about a half hour, but it drops you off right there at the edge of this wall that we're going to continue on here, and then it's shoot no more than a 4 or 5 minute walk to get down here to the beach. It's about 2 in the afternoon. I sat for about a half hour there on the wall and just kind of looked out over the water and enjoyed the breeze. It is warm today, probably low 90s, but that breeze is definitely helps take a little sting out of the heat. This is a restaurant. If you're not looking close enough, you think it was the Hard Rock Cafe. I wonder if the Hard Rock folks have sent a letter of cease and desist, but it's just the Rock Cafe. Yeah, font's kind of similar. They did like their soup of the day was whiskey with croutons, it said. That was funny. Not as crowded as I thought it would be today. Being a Sunday afternoon, I thought you'd have a lot more folks down here. I guess the busy time of the year here is July and August. And of course with 2 years of COVID restrictions. Now last year maybe not as much because Albania was one of the few places that was open during the summer last year. The rest of Europe opened up the latter part of June, but it was my first stop in Europe last year as I flew into Tirana via Frankfurt. Spent a few days in Tirana and then a few days out, actually about a week out in Doris. And Doris was a good city, so I thought I would explore the southern part this time, the Ionian Sea instead of the Adriatic. That's where I had that first Weiss beer, right there, and it was 350 lek. Beers for me have been anywhere on the inexpensive side, probably 2.5, 275. I think 350 was probably my most expensive one. Cappuccino this morning. I'm doing the cappuccino tour. First one was 200 lek. Call it maybe $1.60. And my second one was only 150 lek. I'll call that one, about $1.25 maybe. Not bad, considering it's Starbucks. Any Starbucks back home or traveling get you for $5.50, $6. Yeah, so you can walk out that little platform. Usually there's a boat dock there, but I guess it's out on a sailing right now. So I'm going to go. There's an ATM up here that I found that did not charge me a fee. I took out 5,000 lek the other day. About 42 bucks maybe. And I still have a little bit left, but I figure while I'm down here, the ATM out close to my Airbnb charges a ridiculous 800 lek fee to withdraw, so like $7. So I was just going to grab 40 this morning. And Limani, that's all part of that same floating boat right there where I got that first beer. So I'm going to walk down here and grab the free ATM withdrawal. Not nearly crowded at all here this Sunday. Some of the different places you can go. The Blue Eye, certainly on my list of places to see. Jocastor, kind of a town up in the hills. The monastery and castle I'm not familiar with. Himar, I've heard, is a pretty town that's up the coast a little bit further. Maybe not as crowded. Well, not like this is crowded today, but it has been the last couple of days. So some different places to see here on the coast. You can also ferry shuttle. It's Corfu, and I believe you can get to Brindisi, Italy from here as well. There might be other places, but those are the only two that I'm certain of. A real pretty area looking over the town of Sarandë. This is Ksamil. This is Hot Ksamil. Ksamil. It is just a little bit below Saranda. probably not even more than 10 miles. The beaches here are much nicer, more sandy from what I've just seen than back on Saranda. I'm up in the actual city part of it right now. And this is certainly a place that probably makes its money June, July, and August. There's a lot of folks here. It's about 9,000 degrees. I think it's actually 96 today is the high. Not much of a breeze down here. So I'm going to walk through the city here just a little bit. Actually look for some water, some agua. Kind of has a Mexico feel to it. I don't mean that in a negative way. Just all the bric-a-brac shopping and stuff like that. There's a ton of that. Restaurants, factory. And it's got that kind of deserty feeling to it as well. I'm talking Mexico, like Nogales and Puerto Penasco. Those places that I'm familiar with out of Arizona. Nice little church there. Getting down here was via taxi. So there's one bus that runs the whole gamut, Saranda out here to Ksamil. And it only runs once an hour, so it stops there right in front of my place at 47 past the hour. 2 days in a row I've tried to catch it, and you couldn't have fit a skinny kid on there. Yeah, I might go in here and get water. So I ended up opting for a cab. We agreed on a price of 1,500 lek, which is about $13. He was really super kind. And so I just gave him the 2,000 lek bill and told him to keep it. He gave me his card. If I need to ride back, give him a call. So if I can't catch the bus going back, then I may go with him again. But I think right now I'm going to go find a water in this supermarket and rehydrate a little bit. "41 degrees according to the pharmacy. "28 degrees is 82 Fahrenheit. 41 degrees, how about 97 or 98? Easily the warmest day on this European adventure. I just had lunch. Stopped into the Moonlight, I think it was. And chicken fillet, or chicken fillet as it's called here, and then on Greece as well. 750 lek, 200 lek for a Coke, 950, 1,050 with gratuity. Yeah, I called about $8.50, $9. Pretty tasty though. Now I'm just kind of making what I think is a loop back around from where I started. I still haven't been back to the beach yet, other than my initial, when I got out of the taxi, I walked down there. I've kind of just taken off and cruised and saw that menu for lunch, and I'm like, yeah, haven't really had anything today. So a little grilled chicken fillet with a little side of French fries was pretty tasty. Now just kind of coming back up the hill. So a ton of shopping. Way too early for a beer. It's only 2 p.m. So I think I'm going to head back down towards the water area and see if I can't film a little bit of the beach scene. Looks like maybe a carnival or festival being set up for later on. The old bumper cars. So the beaches are kind of interconnected down here. They got like a little bit of a boardwalk that goes along through here. This is all mostly construction going on down a little bit further. But pretty happening scene here at Ksamil. See out to the water. And there's these little islands out. You can take a water bike. I don't know what a water bike is. I don't know if it's like a jet ski or something, but you can, there's somebody coming back on a jet ski there, but you can float over to there and set up on their beach. And then these beaches are all kind of interwoven with some of the various hotels that are back up here. So I don't know public versus private. Like, I'm not sure if I could sit down there or not. But it just kind of goes all the way back around, and then if you go up over that hill, there's more beaches on the opposite side. But these beaches are much more sandy than the ones down at Saranda, which were all shelly and pebbly and rocky. I think you'd have a lot more comfort walking around these. And then a little bit of a beach bar here, and then right back up the hill where I came down from, up that way is where the cab dropped me off, and all the restaurants and things such as that. So it's a hot one, but it's a happening scene here just on the southern coast of Albania. This is across from where I was before. I was out that direction on that boardwalk. I've hiked around, but I did not come down here earlier in the day. Amazing to see the color of the water change down there. Quite pretty. Still just as hot as it was before, but now there's a little bit of a breeze coming off the water. Let's see these folks down here. They're selling, it's like miniature donuts or something. A little bit of chocolate syrup on it. Food prices, breakfast, anywhere between $3.50 to $6 maybe. Salads. Pretty affordable. And then just to come on this side of the road, let this guy go. He sounds like one of them racers. Most of the license plates I've seen here, other than Albania, of course, have been Poland, quite a bit of Ukraine, and Kosovo. That is Greece, just across the way. Matter of fact, my phone registered with my Greek SIM card because we're that close. Plenty of places to dine or have a beverage down here. There's a little pool down there too. Yeah, from a beach standpoint, Ksamil better than Saranda. Saranda has, oh, that's a Swedish license plate, Sweden. Saranda, I guess, has the bigger infrastructure, although you're not hurting for grocery and restaurants down here. I guess they have the cruise port for boats to dock. I'll just double park them in here. I don't know if it's possible to get down through here. This might be private, but you see how it just kind of circles all the way around and through, and even all the way across to the other side. There's a plethora of options here. Beautiful, beautiful area. Ksamil, Albania. Still a few hours till sundown, and I just kind of looped around. It's a real big coastline. As far as having things established, restaurants and pubs and whatnot. Doesn't take towels long to dry on a day like today. So I stopped in a place called Key 21. Had like a little wraparound bar with seating inside of that. Kind of a beachy little place, and had one beer. It was the local Corcha. A pint or half liter was 350 lek. Exchange rate right now 115 to 100. Call it about $3. So it was very, very tasty, very cold glass. So I had one there, and then I thought, I'll move on and see what else I can explore here. So this will take me back up the hill, back in towards the main drag I walked earlier today. So I'll see what's going on this way. A Greek salad or a green salad, 300 lek. It's about $2.50. Barbershop. I did get a haircut earlier today. Got trimmed up real nice. 800 lek. Now last year in Durrës I only paid 300, but even 800, which is, call it a little bit less than $7, $6.80 to be exact. It's still a hell of a lot cheaper than Supercuts or those places back home, which are up to $21 now. And he did a really nice job. Good guy. I'll flip it and let you see. Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it. All right, back up into the main drag. Searching for a cold one.